What's going on, YouTube? Prince Jewel back here with another video. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about the significance of Sasha Banks being who she is, and the significance of not if she wins the women's championship, but when she wins. Now, for those of you guys, who follow me, who already do that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That just shows me I'm doing a good job and makes me want to add more. It motivates me. Yeah. Now, I'm going to actually repeat something that was said to me. Shout out to Irv, because he actually brought up this point. Sasha Banks is the first minority, if you want to call it that, woman of color that has become a superstar. I mean, an actual superstar, as in people will literally pay money to see this woman. People will watch the show just to see her. People will buy a t-shirt with her face on it. People, you get the gist of what I'm saying. She's the first woman of color, of a different background, of not being some lily white, blonde hair, blue-eyed, the constant mantra that's been basically shoved in front of us for decade after decade after decade after decade. Ever since I started watching a good old wrestling program a long time ago. I remember back then, it was Sable back then. She was the big blonde thing. Before her, it was Sunny. After that, Trish took the helm. And then after that, it became Michelle McCool, and then after that, it was this one. They tried to make it Kelly, and then she left. It was Stacy Keibler for a moment, and then now it's this role player, Charlotte. It's just like, but now finally we're getting something different. Now that's not to say that there haven't been other Latino, Asian, or black female women's champions. There definitely have been. But were they superstars? Was anyone, let's go down a list of names. And I know I'm going to miss some because I'm just shooting off the top of the head, but we all remember Jacqueline back in the day, don't we?
She's Texas. She don't go to heck. Man, that motherfucker, that's Jeff Jarrett, hoe. Put that hoe in that hoe bag. The one with the silicone tip. Everywhere Jeff Jarrett has ever went, Jackie went with him. He used to have butt-naked pictures in USWA of that bitch, and one of her titties got popped on the fucking silicone. We heard and he had the picture, he had one titty jacked up and the other one was down.
That's Indiana.
Well, everywhere that goddamn Jeff Jarrett ever went, she always seemed to make her way because that was his hoe. So the bitch goes in the hoe bag. Hoe.
Yeah, were people paying money just to see Jacqueline? No. All right. We all remember Layla, who was basically reduced to being Michelle McCool's sidekick, basically. It was Batman and Robin, basically. And Layla, as sexy as she was, just faded into the background. Didn't really become much. Oksana. No one was paying money to see Oksana. Who else? Linda Miles, the one dark-skinned chick who won Tough Enough. She was in and out, and then she went over to TNA and was getting a pipe from Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, from what I hear. Then we had Jazz, but Jazz could have been a star, I would say, but you can't take nothing away from her, but she just didn't have that sex appeal, you know what I'm saying? Because she was one of them bulky, cocky type chicks, so she didn't have that casual sex appeal, or not much really, in my honest opinion. If we want to go to Hispanic route, Eve Torres was getting over, but she, cut and left. Melina would have been a huge one to take that helm, but we all know the story of what happened with Melina.
Morrison? You're gonna walk around like Batista didn't tag your girl? You're gonna walk around like Mike Knox didn't tag your girl? By the way, how does Mike Knox taste? How does Batista taste? How does God knows how many other guys she's banged right under your nose? In fact, it wasn't even under your nose. You just pretend it was under your nose. You knew the whole time what was fucking going on.
You know, another example would be Naomi right now. Naomi, I like to compare Naomi's situation to Janet Jackson and Britney Spears. Naomi and Charlotte are basically the exact same character in the exact same predicament. Uber athletic women who can do it all in the ring, but just do not have a genuinely intriguing character that draws people in. They're the same person. It's Janet Jackson and Britney Spears. Charlotte is the white version of Naomi, in my honest opinion. You know, just beyond athletic, extremely talented, just doesn't have that character that draws you in, you know. But yeah, the whole blonde dynamic has dominated that, well, the whole American side of the pro wrestling industry, and maybe even internationally. It's been the norm. It's been the paradigm for so long that it's very refreshing to see something new, and it's not being shoved at you just because it's something different or it's something new. This isn't David Arquette getting the WCW title just to create some buzz. This is someone who is a legitimate superstar, who it's undeniable. This is someone who has transcended their race, their gender, and their skin color. And that's how you know you've made it as an entertainer, when you become more than just, oh, that's the one black chick, oh, that's the one white boy. Almost like Eminem would be a good example. When Eminem first came out, Slim Shady LP, we was feeling him, but he hadn't yet transcended being a white rapper until, I'd say, some would argue after Marshall Mathers LP 1. That's when he went, but I would say nah, it wasn't until the 8 Mile era. Like after 8 Mile came out, around that era, that's when people would stop saying, oh, he's just a white rapper. No, this dude's dope. Like across the board, it became, this dude is dope. You know, there were a few cats, you know, at the Marshall Mathers LP 1 who were saying, he's just a dope MC. You know, they stopped, you know, the label of white rapper went away after Marshall Mathers LP 1 for a lot of people. And then, you know, Eminem Show, 8 Mile, you know, he shed that label because his skill and his talent transcended everything. You know, Booker T, if we're talking pro wrestling, he did it a while back, but with WCW, the only real reason they gave him the title is because they were dealing with some racial issues in the background. So they said, well, let's okey doke the belt on him so they can't say anything, you know. So, you know, and did he rightfully deserve it? Yeah, he did. But at the same time, you know, we know the real reason behind, or a reason that influenced him getting that title for the first time. With Sasha winning the title, like, she's one of the most popular wrestlers, period. Not just women's wrestlers, but period, at the current moment. And there hasn't been, especially a women's wrestler, who has gotten to that level in a very long time. I think Trish and Lita were the last two. Melina could have gone that route, but, you know, we already know what happened with that.
Wait, how does Mike Knox taste? How does Batista taste?
Who else? AJ Lee was another one, but, you know, rather than... What makes Sasha's thing so different is that she was made off other women, whereas you look at Trish, AJ Lee, Eve Torres, and all these other women, they were made off being put in storylines with other men. So my old video saying that divas need men to get over, basically, it's null and void because of what Sasha's done, what Bayley is currently doing, just basically the direction they're going in currently with the women's division. It's gonna be epic because it's something new, and Sasha is multicultural. She's not just a black woman; she's actually mixed, part Hispanic, part black. Plus, the way she appreciates and champions up Asian culture as well. You know, she's a magnet for a lot of affection from the fans just based on how she carries herself outside the ring. But that's all I got. I'm out. That's why it means a lot to us. Like, subscribe. Out.